I'm Paragon. This is word of mouth. Before we get off on this episode, I want to just ask y'all to like, comment, and subscribe. Please, I would really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I wanted to get into the debates and how Andrew Yang did. I am going to show a couple of clips and have feedback for them. This first clip is of Andrew Yang talking to Tom Steyer, having a word and applauding Tom Steyer about climate change and his endeavors in it.
Mr. Yang.
Sure. Thank you.
Mr. Yang, you've made a virtue of your outsider status. You've never served in the military or in government. What has prepared you to respond to a terrorist attack or a major disaster?
Well, first, I just want to stick up for Tom. We have a broken campaign finance system, but Tom's been spending his own money fighting climate change. And you can't knock someone for having money and spending it in the right way, in my opinion.
Thanks, Andrew.
No problem.
I think Andrew Yang gets it right every time. He shows the humanity first by him applauding him, not trying to run down or go against the grain of what somebody else is pushing, but actually applauding him on the stage, actually showing that he's a human being and that okay, you should be recognized for that, and that's great that you did that. That's showing the humanity first in Andrew Yang, showing that he can be a good person through and through. He talked about his wife Evelyn, and I really think him bringing her into the campaign now makes everything more homey, have a more homey feel. You know what I mean? Makes you feel make the campaign feel more kind of centered, but there's another clip of the debate, right? And this is Andrew Yang talking about white supremacists, and what would he do?
Mr. Yang, what would you do about the issue of white supremacist violence?
Well, first we have to designate white supremacist terrorism as domestic terrorism so that the Department of Justice can properly measure it. I talked to an anti-hate activist named Christian Picciolini who told me about how he was radicalized over a 10-year period. He said he was a lonely 14-year-old and that he was reached out to by a hate group, and he wound up joining it for a decade. Now he's out and he's helping convert people out of those hate groups and back into the rest of society. But what he told me was that if anyone had reached out to him when he was that hurt, broken 14-year-old boy, he would have gone with them. He said if it had been a coach, I would have gone with him. If it had been a mentor or teacher, I would have gone with them. But instead it was a hate group. So what we have to do is we have to get into the roots of our communities and create paths forward for men in particular who right now are falling through the cracks. And when you look at gun violence in this country, 96+% of the shooters we're talking about are young boys and young men. We have to, as a country, start finding ways to turn our boys into healthy, strong young men who do not hate, but instead feel like they have paths forward in today's economy.
To be honest, he got it. He hit the nail on the coffin. You know what I mean, with what he said, and I really applaud. I really applaud him for doing that as well. You know what I mean, because that's a big thing in my community, and how people are actually sought out after these people, and he's talking about actually really labeling it as terrorism, you know what I mean? Because it is. I'm not gonna just fly into all the ways that it is and tell you, but it is, you know what I mean? And that's it. That's a real crucial form of it. At me being a black man in America, I can speak to the countless times I've even been just like profiled, you know what I mean, gotten derogatory looks and stares. So I could understand. I really do understand. But I do think Andrew Yang he's hitting his stride with these debates. If he had more talking time, as Elizabeth Warren did, I think it would be great. The Washington Post actually posts up the talking time, so you guys can go see what the talking time is. I'm gonna just put it here, the talking times. But again, we shouldn't have to keep saying this. Let Yang speak. We shouldn't have to keep saying this. We shouldn't at each debate, before each debate, after it. We shouldn't have to be doing this as Yang Gang. But here we are. But I do think Andrew Yang. I really think after these ads go out, I think his numbers are going to continue to grow. I think he's going to really be on that incline, and I think it's going to really hit in December. I really do think that. I think it's going to go up, and I feel because the way he's creeping up to 4 and 5%. I think he's gonna land in December, maybe mid to late December, somewhere around 10. And I really believe that in these polls. And I think from the jump, I thought he was here to stay, just based off his ideas and his ideology of having a humored, I said a human centered economy. You know what I mean? He didn't get to speak on the GDP, on his breakdown of what he thinks of the GDP, and his plan for it, to implement the American scorecard, right? I think that's something he should have hit on when the topic came around, of how people are viewed in America, and how mothers don't get paid as much, women don't get paid as much, I should say, and mothers should stay home with the kids. But I do feel he should have hit that. I feel he should have got that in there, but he did have a great saying, for the mothers that are at home, because that's literally what he's been talking about. His wife is a parent, that of an autistic kid, and I know how hard it is to take care of a kid, because I have one myself, so I know how hard it is. But even the levels of, imagine a level of having a kid that's on the autism spectrum. So like, it has to be 10 times as hard, you know what I mean? So I do applaud him, his wife, and anybody else out there that's raising a child with autism. I do think you're a blessing among us human beings, for actually doing that. I really appreciate you guys, and for all the mothers, fathers, everybody who's taking care of a kid, I really do appreciate you as well, for doing that as a human being. And really, Andrew Yang will be the next president of the United States. I'm saying it here on this podcast. He will be. It's no ifs, it's no hopes. Watch it come to life. I know. And hopefully this week cuz I'm purchasing some Yang merch. I'm purchasing some merch, some math hats. I'm gonna get some teas as well. So hopefully you see me with that in some of the coming videos. Maybe not the next 2 or 3, but some of the coming videos, because I am purchasing. I don't know how long it takes to come, but I will be getting those as well. This is word of mouth, man. This is word of mouth. This is Yang Gang as well, man. I'm gonna be here all the way. So I'm gonna be talking about Andrew Yang all the way. I'm also gonna be talking about a lot of other things as well, but I'm really kind of passionate in this movement right now, so that's why I'm really basing these videos off of this. But I will be talking about other things, just food for thought, music, sports, and other things. But I'm really probably gonna be centered around this for the duration of this this race, man, and this candidacy. So stay tuned. Next video, man. Peace.